And another pre-Copenhagen meeting is now underway this morning. G20 finance ministers as well as central bankers, they're all holding talks in Scotland at this hour. Climate change is very much on the agenda. British Treasury Chief Alistair Darling says he and his G20 peers are facing what he calls some heavy lifting on the climate issue. But this week, U.S. Special Climate Envoy Todd Stern pointed to a different group of nations here. He said that developing countries simply aren't doing enough. Clean Sky's Dee Bombani is with us now, tracking reaction here in Washington to Stern's assessment. Dee, good morning.
Good morning, Tyler. That's right. Todd Stern told the House Committee on Foreign Affairs Wednesday that developing nations were not doing enough to combat climate change. Now, the experts and lawmakers I talked to said the comments of Stern were out of order. Stern said developing countries are not following climate goals set in two key documents, the 1992 UN Framework Convention on Climate Change and the 2007 Bali Action Plan. Now, those documents outline responsibilities for poorer countries. Stern's blunt comments come just 1 month before he's going to sit down at the negotiating table with those developing countries to carve out a new climate change treaty that will follow the Kyoto Protocol of 1997. Now, while Stern accuses developing countries of not doing enough, they argue that they are, and that the U.S. did not even sign the Kyoto Protocol, nor agree to any of its targets. I spoke with Chen Wang, a Chinese scientist visiting the Wilson Center this week. He said Stern is out of order. Countries like India and China, which do not use as much energy as developed countries, are still doing their part, even at the grassroots level.
It is to the interest of Chinese people to improve the energy efficiency, to reduce the emission. I mean, we all live in a polluted area. No one wants to live in that area. So our government, our people have been striving to achieve that goal. And also, we have to look at the historical aspect of this issue. China is heavily dependent on coal. So it's now making a great effort to diversify its energy form. But with such a huge population, such a large territory, and such a historical background, it will take quite a bit of time to achieve that goal. I mean, you can't make a quantitative evaluation of this process. It's going to be a very difficult thing. I mean, for me, I'm just a layman in the field of nanoscience. I'm doing my share of contribution to this goal. And I guess many of my colleagues are doing the same effort. But that's my observation of this process.
Now, I caught up with Senator Arlen Specter yesterday, too. The Pennsylvania Democrat said he would rather the U.S. Special Envoy urge developing countries to do more, not castigate them for not doing enough. Now, Specter said he is optimistic about what nations can accomplish in Copenhagen, and that Stern's comments do not undermine U.S. efforts in upcoming talks. Tyler.
We'll see if that plays out truly. All right, Dee Bombani, thank you very much.